Roger, it's your turn.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share with everybody. My name is Roger, and I have been writing reverse mortgages for about 12 years now. I've been writing loans for 20 years, and I love what I do. If I didn't love what I did, I wouldn't be doing it. It's a wonderful product, and it will correspond very well with what Renee just shared with everybody.
Thank you, Roger.
Right, so
let's start.
Yes, go to the next screen. Are you controlling the screens, or you want me to share my screen?
I think my staff is sharing. Susan is sharing your screen. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's fine. So go to the next screen, the next page. All right. I think what I am going to talk about is, this says 5 reasons why older homeowners get a reverse mortgage. One of them is what Renee just spoke about. A few different reasons: downsizing homes. We're writing loans today where you can go ahead and change the screen. The most important part of this particular screen here is that the public tends to think that if you do a reverse mortgage, there is no equity left in your home. And that is not true. This graph here demonstrates, it doesn't give, unfortunately, the exact numbers, but being that we only lend you, let's say 50% of the value of your home, using a simple number. So if we're lending you 50% of the value of your home, and so you have a loan, so your home continues to grow in equity. So it is a balance of your loan, but so does the equity in your home. So very rare is there a situation where if somebody does a reverse mortgage, that they lose all their equity in the home. And we're thinking in the context of your errors. I have 3 boys, and when God takes me home, I want to do my best to leave my kids with an inheritance, right? The biggest asset we have typically is our homes. So this graph demonstrates, simply if you would, that we lend you X amount of money, there's still equity in your home, and 20 years later, there's still going to be equity in your home, even though you've never made a payment on this loan. As you know, all of us know, you bought a home 20 years ago, let's say in LA County, anywhere in LA County, 10 years ago, your value has almost doubled in 10 years. That tends to be the history of equity in homes. They go down, they go up, they go down, they go up, but ultimately, I would bet $1 that everybody here, if you bought your home 10 years ago, it's worth significantly more now. So that is what this is demonstrating in a light way, that people that do reverse mortgage, the biggest concern is, will I have equity left in my home 20 years down the road? Numbers say yes, you will. Okay, so go ahead and change the screen. All right, so number 2, they need more income. Retirement income falls short. Social Security income falls short. Retirees are struggling every day to pay their bills. As an example, if I went out and bought a home today using my income, because there is an income component when you write loans, right? You write a loan, you buy a house based on today's income, but 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, you're no longer working. And now you're getting Social Security, and now you're getting maybe a pension. And oftentimes, that Social Security and pension, it's not that it's enough to pay the mortgage, but there's not a whole lot left over after you pay the mortgage. I'll give you another example, and it's sad, but it's the truth. I've done a lot of these. You have a husband and wife who bought a home, and they're living off Social Security, the two of them. One of them passes away, and now there's only one source of income. So now the income has been cut in half. They have a mortgage payment, and they can no longer afford to stay in the home. So they call Renee, sell the home, move in a smaller home. Or they call me and say, hey, can we do a reverse mortgage? So we can do reverse mortgage based on Social Security income. There's still an income component, and we have to look at it. But this is an example of it. It's very, very common today that inflation's going up, and people living on Social Security, it's difficult. They can do it, but some of them it's difficult to enjoy life. So that's number two. They need more income because they lack income. That's another reason why people do these loans. Next screen. All right, so they're still making mortgage payments. Nearly 10 million homeowners of age 65 and plus are still paying their mortgage. 10 million at 65. I tell you what, when I retire at 65, God willing, I don't want to have a mortgage payment. I don't want to have a mortgage payment. And I see it all the time because families, maybe they want to help their kids go through college, so they take a loan out of their home. Maybe they want to help grandchildren, so they take a refinance and they help their grandchildren. Or maybe they take money to buy your home, but the bottom line is that they run out of money and they can no longer make the mortgage payments. So with the reverse mortgage, we eliminate a borrower having to make a payment. So if I go into a home and I write a loan and I'm saving, somebody has a mortgage payment of $2,500 a month, principal and interest only. And if I can eliminate that loan, putting another $2,500 in somebody's pocket, it's a game changer. It is really a game changer. Some individuals will, for those with an existing mortgage on the home, reverse mortgage proceeds are for. So all we're saying here is that we pay off their existing mortgage. So they have a $2,500 mortgage as an example. They no longer have a mortgage payment, and $2,500 is a lot of money in this example. $1,000 can be a lot of money in this example. All right, so this question, I have learned that the fee is very high to have a reverse mortgage. I want to find out how high. Okay. On a reverse mortgage, on a regular loan, there are two sets of fees, right? You have the lender fees, origination, appraisal. Okay, that's number one, which is normal. And then you have third-party fees, which are title, escrow, recording, correct? So the normal loan, there are two sets of fees. On the reverse mortgage, there are three sets of fees. And the third is MIP, and that's what that question is referring to. So the MIP is 2% of the appraised value. So if somebody's home appraises for $400,000, MIP is $8,000. Somebody's home appraises for $500,000, MIP is $10,000. Home appraises for $900,000, MIP is $18,000. So, is it expensive? Is costly? Yes. Hold on a second. It's costly, yes, but you have to weigh out the benefit. All right. So, if I'm paying $20,000 in closing costs, but I'm saving $2,000 a month. It's only going to take me 10 months to recoup my cost, right? Number one. So if I can live in my home forever, never have to make a mortgage payment, and all I have to do is stay in my home, to me, paying $20,000 or $15,000 extra to do the loan, while receiving all the benefits, it's a good exchange. I'm paying X amount of money to eliminate my mortgage payment, and I can stay in my home, number one. Number two, your home is continuing to grow in equity. So it might cost $20,000 to do a loan, as an example, but in 1 year's time, I've already made my money back, because in 1 year's time in Alhambra, Irvine, Glendora, San Gabriel Valley, your homes are appreciating, you know, X amount of money per month. 2% of what? So 2% is June on the appraised value. So it's a one-time fee. So on the closing settlement statement, it's going to give you, it's going to show an MIP charge of 2% or 2% of the appraised value, and it's a one-time fee. So you just kind of have to look at the cost and the benefit. Cost and the benefit. So if it's not enough benefit, you're not going to do the loan, and that's fine. It's not for everybody. But for some people who are struggling to eat, who are struggling to make payments, who have living health care costs with taking care of a spouse, paying $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month to take care of their family at home, paying $20,000 to do a loan to give them freedom is well worth it, in my opinion. But it's not my decision. It's everybody's decision. Okay. So next page. And I'll answer more questions, guys. It's fine. So nearly 90% of adults 65 want to age in place, meaning they just want to stay at home. You know, they just want to stay at home. And I've seen that before. As a senior, most people don't want to move. They just want to stay home. They want to die where they live. And I understand that. But some people have to move, but most of them want to stay in a home. They want to avoid relocation or moving into home facilities. That is correct. 24-hour home care today costs almost $18,000 a month, right? So if I'm freeing up $300,000 of equity, and I'm doing a loan right now for a family where the family can no longer afford to pay the $7,000 a month that is costing to take care of dad. So we're going to do a reverse mortgage to free up money so dad can come home. They can bring in home care, take care of dad, no longer a financial burden to the family, and they free up the equity. So I have done loans before where a realtor will call me and they say, Roger, I'm sitting at an appointment. They don't want to sell the home. They would love to stay at the home. Can we do a reverse mortgage? So I drive in my car, I meet the customer, we talk the numbers, and yes, then if the numbers work, they can stay at home. All right. So next page. Another reason to do these home improvement projects. You know, seniors, the longer you live in the home, anybody, it costs a lot of money to take care of your home. So roofs need replaced. Car tires need to be replaced. That's number 4. Maybe they need a step-in bathroom. You know, I'm getting a little bit older, and I don't want to slip in the shower. And sometimes people slip in the shower, or sometimes people slip going in and out of bathrooms. So people sometimes use these loans to make their home senior friendly. So we free up X amount of money in their home, and now the borrower is free to improve their home, so once again they can stay at home. With more money in their hands, retirees may find themselves wanting to take a trip of a lifetime, and I've seen that before too. You know, you have a senior. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the loan in time, but the elderly gentleman, he wanted so bad to take his wife to Hawaii. And the timing on the loan was bad and I couldn't do it, but he wanted so bad to take his wife to Hawaii. Well, he still could. So that's another application. I did another loan for a family where they wanted to pay their grandkids college. So they did a loan where they took the money and they could pay the grandchildren's college. A real important point on this, the proceeds on this loan are non-taxable. So if I free up $200,000 of equity and I take that $200,000 and I put it in my bank, I am not taxed on that $200,000. The reason I'm not taxed on the $200,000 is because you're incurring debt. So being that you have to pay it back somewhere, it is not considered income. Okay. Now let me see another couple questions here. I have my cousin outside. All right, let me look at a couple of these questions here. Oh, here we go. Financial problems happen, foreclosure, delinquent property taxes, inability to keep up expenses at the home. So again, this is a scenario where you're allowed to free up equity in the home to take care of whatever you need to take care of, tax-free income. I've been, like I shared earlier, I've been writing these loans for maybe 12 years, about 12 years now. And they've changed the lives of many, many people, many, many families. I've only had one person regret doing the loan, and it was because their children gave them such a problem, knowing that mom and dad did a reverse mortgage and were spending their inheritance. So typically, the pushback comes, not typically, but if it does come back, it doesn't happen all the time, but that's the only time I've ever had one person complain because, and that's my 12 years, that's because the children got mad at mom and dad for doing the loan, which I think is very, very unfair. But so let's see a couple of questions and then we'll go to the next slide.
Roger, can we just go through all the slides first and then answer questions at the end? Thank you.
All right, let's go to the next one then. Reverse mortgage provides funds based on equity built up in the home, not the amount of money, not money the borrower may have or may not have. And what that simply means is the amount of money I can lend somebody is based on their age and their value. So a simple scenario would be, this is not completely accurate, but just keep it simple. I can lend 50% of the value of their home. So let's say the home is worth $900,000. I can write a loan for $450,000. Borrower owes $200,000. We pay out that $200,000, and the borrower now has $250,000 in their pocket, right? They can take that $250,000, and now they can go to Renee and say, "Hey, Renee, I like that luxury apartment that you showed in Alhambra for $450,000, right? But I don't have $450,000 to buy it. However, we just freed up $250,000 on their home, and they can take that, and now they can put that as a down payment, as an example. So the amount of money that we lend somebody is based on their age and the value. The younger they are, the less they receive. The older they are, the more they receive. All right. So we can do lump sums. We can do lines of credit. We can do a 10-year where we deposit money into the bank account every month, just like a Social Security check. Reverse mortgages. All right. So this screen here, this is very, very important because this really is the main misconception on these loans. Number one, with the reverse mortgage, the bank takes ownership of the home. Incorrect. All we're doing is a cash out refinance. We're not changing vesting. The let's say you have a loan with Wells Fargo. We pay off Wells Fargo, and now we're the lender and no longer Wells Fargo. You did not change ownership. All you did, we recorded a new deed of trust on your property. We do not own your home. We do not want to own your home. It's your home. Number two, misconception, the home can't be passed on to borrowers. Incorrect. You own your home. You still own your home. You can give it away to your children. You have a trust. God takes you home. The kids take the home. It belongs to the children. Now, I'll interject this now. And at this stage, if that were to happen, the kids have the home. Yes, they do. But they have 1 year to settle the debt. So they can sell the home, keep the equity. The equity is theirs. They can do another reverse mortgage if they're old enough. We could do a regular refinance and pay us off. Ultimately, mom and dad lived in the home without making a mortgage payment 20, 30 years. God bless them. They're happy. God takes them home. Kids now are responsible. Parents don't worry about it because they're in heaven and they're fine. Kids keep the equity. They sell the home. They have 1 year to do it. They have 1 year to sell it. Will all the equity be gone? No, it will not. As I shared earlier, your home will continue to appreciate in value. Right now, property values are dropping, but real estate's a wheel. They're going to come down. It's going to go back up. They're going to come down. They're going to go back up. So there is going to be, theoretically, you can't always say always, because I don't have a crystal ball, right? But theoretically, there's always going to be equity in the home. Last one, reverse mortgage or last resort, incorrect again. I've done 2 loans recently where the husband wanted to make sure that the wife was going to be okay in the event he passed away. He didn't want the wife to have a mortgage payment. He wanted the wife to have a line of credit, wanted her to have money so she could survive in the event that he passed. And I've done a couple of those. So it is now a financial planning tool that people use. It's a financial planning tool that people use to do this loan. So it is not a last resort. I've done loans for people where the home was free and clear, and they created a line of credit for $300,000, and the line of credit sits there, growing in value. It doesn't accrue interest; it just grows in value. So in the event that they ever need that money, they know they're sitting on $300,000. So they don't have to go in the bank account. They don't have to go in the savings account. They don't have to sell out on the 401ks or the stock options or the investments. It's another bucket of money that they're creating in the event that something happens. All right, next page. Then I'll answer all your questions. Oh, Q&A, here we go. All right, so let's see, I'll go to Q&A.
Yeah, please. I have so many questions.
Okay, is home equity loan a good option to consider compared to reverse mortgage? You're talking about a HELOC. With the HELOC, this is what's going to, HELOCs are good. They're very, very inexpensive. But this is what can happen with the HELOC, all right? They give you HELOC based on a value of $600,000. Property values have dropped to $500,000. God is my witness. God is my witness. Banks called the borrower and say, hey, your home is no longer worth what it was when we did your loan, and now we're freezing your line of credit. And I've seen this. I've seen it during market crashes where people go home thinking they have a line of credit, and all of a sudden they don't because the bank's froze it. So that's the difference. Can I sell a home if I have a reverse mortgage? Yes. There is no prepayment penalty on this loan. If you did this loan, you can sell the home tomorrow. If you did this loan and you hit the lotto, you can pay us off tomorrow. No prepayment penalty. I have also learned there is a loan called 62 plus. This is the same one. It's the same one. 62 years and older. If you're married, then if your spouse is under 62, I can do a loan. The loan amount will be based on the younger borrower's age, not the one at 62. It never used to be that way, but today, if you're married and one of the borrowers is under 62, I can do a loan. Let me see. I wish. know what to do. If I want to buy a home, but I have no funds before I sell the house, what do I do? You have a home, this one here, if you have a home, you can sell your home and use the proceeds to buy another home, coupled with the reverse mortgage. Now, I wanted to keep this simple for everybody and just kind of paint a wonderful picture. There's a lot of moving parts like any transaction, and I don't want to bore you or concern you because that would be my job. My job is to handle all the details, close your loans, take the stress off everybody, and make it as simple as possible. And that's what I'm hired to do. Your most important part is this: 62, 50% loan to value. The most important requirement on this loan before I'm done is owner occupied. You have to live in the home. You cannot do it in an investment property. If they find out you moved and you moved somewhere and you rented your home out, they can call the loan due and payable. So you need to keep it owner occupied. I can talk forever on these. I love another opportunity one-on-one. My number's here, my email's here. By all means, feel free to give me a call. Anybody, more than happy to talk with anybody. And not to sell you. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to pressure anybody.